I think if you can fail well, you can do engineering well. So, food for thought. I think the characteristics of a Dordt engineering education are experiencing engineering. And I say that in the sense that it's not necessarily about tools or techniques or formulas or classes, as much as it is about getting together as a community from a lot of different backgrounds, and we work on the same problems together. We talk about the same problems, we discuss the problems together, and then we look at them in the broader context. And it's 4 years of sort of one integral problem-solving session.
The engineering professors just make the experience so much better, the way that they interact with us. And I'm not sure at a bigger college that you would get the sort of one-on-one attention that you get here at Dordt.
They really invested, and I think that is what helped me succeed and do as well as I did, is just having a personal relationship with them. And even now, 10 years later, I still email and hear from some of them, which is a pretty cool experience.
My challenge to engineers is, when you go to an educational institution, or as you walk out into industry, always be stretching your imagination. How can this fit? How can this change? How can this make communities, societies, people, life on this earth radically different and pointed in a different direction? I think you need an imagination that extends beyond life itself. I think you do need that biblical imagination of where God is going with his world.
So they present the material in a way that you can tell that their worldview has been developed from a strong Christian foundation.
My engineering degree gave me a kingdom perspective, so it's not just engineering, it's engineering for God's kingdom. And so that ultimately, I would say, is what led me to the job that I'm at today. I now am working for an organization where we do humanitarian projects around the world. And I think a lot of the passion demonstrated by the professors, the desire to use skills for God's kingdom is what led me to where I am today.
I feel like Dordt's really preparing us for a career, not only because the material is so challenging, but because professors really challenge us to think critically.
Dordt is a wonderful place for students to come and fail in community. Just a wonderful place to actually get stuck. That's something I encourage engineering students to think about, because that's ultimately a message of grace. Is, can you fail well? I think if you can fail well, you can do engineering well.
People get into engineering and they have a tough time seeing how their work is actually making change. And when you're doing engineering work from a Christian perspective, I feel like that gives you just a greater sense of why you're doing what you're doing.
So I hope that there isn't necessarily this real pragmatic only sense for engineering, but also a playful sense of engineering that Dordt can provide. Engineering is taken very seriously and very joyfully.